vision. It's usually one person, a man or a woman, boy or girl, and it's their kind of, they're the driving force. Sometimes two, all of the Beatles with Paul and John, or the Stones, Keith, but who knows? I mean, there's, it's a combination of, but usually kind of one person that is like, it's their creative vision. And as a songwriter, usually, and a singer. And so that's one style. Whereas on the television show, we were very individualistic, and in our comedy and our acting, that was intentionally very different, like the Marx Brothers or something, where every character is very, very distinct. But in the music, it did cause issues because there were 4 lead singers in the Monkees, essentially. And it's really unheard of. Like I say, most groups, there's one lead singer, one creative vision. There was 4 in the Monkees. Nez was strongly electro country. He was very early, before ZZ Top. He was doing that kind of stuff. I call it electro country, we'll call it. And then there was Peter, who was bluegrass and folky and very bluesy. And then David was like Broadway, Tony Newley, ballads and big, big songs. And me, I was like flat out rock and roll. My influence were my audition piece for the Monkees was Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. To give you an idea, what I was singing, and Little Richard and Fats Domino and Jerry Lee Lewis and Johnny Mathis and Nat King Cole, those were my influences. So you had 4 very distinct. And in the early days, the first couple albums, we had, as you probably have heard, absolutely nothing to say about what went on in the studio, what songs, what writers, who would sing it, who would play it, what was released, nothing, very, very little, until the third album, Headquarters. And then we finally got total control. And then after that, Pisces, Aquarius, and some of the other albums, you can hear the very distinct. And I remember in one of the albums, I guess it was Pisces, Aquarius, we decided amongst ourselves, each of us will have 3 tracks. And 3 times 4 is 12, and that's usually how many tracks on an album. And we'd produce and write and correct whatever we wanted for our 3 tracks. And that'll give you an idea of where we were as individuals.